So Reddit has long been a place of wide open discussion, which, as we know on the internet, can lead to disagreement. And that can lead to a whole lot worse. Joining us to talk about a new anti-harassment measure on Reddit is Lauren Hockenson from The Next Web. How's it going, Lauren?
Hi, pretty well. How are you?
Excellent. It's always good to get you on the show, so thanks for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about this new feature that Reddit is rolling out.
Yeah, so, I mean, as people have probably known, Reddit is historically laissez-faire about its social interactions. But over the past year, as they've sort of had their new executive change and sort of really put a concerted effort into targeting and helping curb harassment, they've released a new user block feature. Now, they've had user block available in a really basic form for some time, but that generally only involved private messages. Now, when you block a user on Reddit, you won't be able to see their responses or their comments. It's basically like a mute, but on Reddit.
So this is basically for the user that's doing the blocking. Everyone else can still see those posts, though, right?
Yes, so it's a one-to-one block. So the user who blocks a person, the blockee, if you would, the blockee does not see that the blocker has blocked them. So they think that everything's okay, curbs on the retaliation, but everybody else can still see that interaction. And also, user blocks aren't applicable to either admins or mods. So if you are in charge of moderating a community, you can't just block a user and not see them. You still have to sort of go through and make sure that everybody is behaving correctly.
How has this worked for Twitter? And I mean, not by worked as in how is it implemented, but has this been pretty effective in people's experience on Twitter? I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is the out of sight, out of mind approach, may work for me not seeing the thing that's happening, but the thing that's happening is still happening. Is it too aggressive to go further and trying to remove the thing that's happening?
I think that's a really high-level philosophical viewpoint. Honestly, there's a lot of discussion around this very particular topic. There's a firm camp that believes that being able to control the voices that are around you is essential in having a really great, safe online experience, whether that's on Twitter or if it's on Facebook or on Instagram. An individual user should have a right to stop seeing speech if they don't want to see it, and that's really the point of a block. However, there has been an increasing move towards the idea of counter speech, which is sort of the other side of that. That's when you see people like Sheryl Sandberg asking the users to bomb somebody by giving a lot of likes, by trying to, steer the conversation back towards a positive direction and not degrading down into arguments and giving into trolling. So, it's two different schools of thought. And I think that at this point, it's hard to tell which one is really the most effective. But at this point, I think that Reddit has recognized that it at least needs to have some basic tools on hand for its users so they can have the experience that they want.
I mean, I think as far as blocking and muting, I think it is enough. I mean, the problem with Twitter is that it's at you. They can at you. So you see it and everybody who follows you sees it. I mean,
right.
People have been writing nasty things on the internet forever. I mean, Rich, you've been in TV for 15 years. I was before I took a break to do other things. And so it's been a while. I tend to think that partly the internet has gotten a little bit meaner. But it's also Twitter because it's more at you. There's a lot of stuff that people say about me that I don't know if I don't go searching for it unless it's on Twitter. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, TV's historically you got emails from people or whatever, I guess letters from people, and then it became emails and now it's tweets. But I mean, it's one of those things where I always wonder about this because, on my Facebook page, I always, you don't get a lot of stuff, but you do get some stuff that's questionable, whether it's directed towards you or other people on your page, and I feel like as the person who's running the page, do I need to delete their comment or do I let other people sort of chime in on their comment to correct them for me? Or, it's who is in charge of policing this? So I think what Reddit's saying is it kind of comes down to your personal experience and what you personally are okay with seeing. And if someone's getting at you and you choose to block them, just kind of on Twitter, you can block someone or mute them. I think that those are good tools for the average person, but I agree. It's like Jason said, it's kind of a bigger philosophical discussion of should this stuff still exist out there? Should other people be able to see it and comment and tweet about it? Or should it just go away? And I always wonder what the end effect is to blocking someone, because sometimes when they go to tweet you, they can see that they're blocked. And then it's like, what is that person thinking? Like, do they get meaner? Do they take it to the next level? Do they want to go somewhere else? So it's not like it just removes the thing from ever happening. I mean, the person who said these terrible things is still existing, and they're still out there just ready to pounce on someone else.
Sure.
So, maybe we just need nicer people in this world. I don't know.
Is this going to create nicer people?
No, I don't think so.
No.
One can only hope. Yeah, Reddit users don't necessarily normally take lightly to anything that obstructs kind of the flow of communication through the network. Do we have any kind of early indications as far as how they're taking this change? Is this effective or reasonable?
Well, it's still really early on. I mean, today one of the original Reddit engineers, Chris Slow, who operates on Reddit under the name Kaiser Sosa, which I think is awesome. Like, good job.
Awesome.
That's two references in one. You can't be beat on a Reddit name with that. But he got Reddit Gold for the announcement, and it seems to so far be pretty good. I think that what it's sort of saying is Reddit as an entity is not there to block or to curb content or to moderate what you say beyond what the group rules allow, and beyond what the terms of service allow. But you as a user should be empowered to make your own choices and to have what you think would be the ideal experience, because it's individualist. And because I think that, you have the tool and either you use it or you don't, there's going to be less of a backlash than what you saw previously when Reddit was trying to curb harassment by forcing certain subreddits that were particularly racist or sexist to go dark, as it were. I think that this is definitely a step in a different direction, and one that so far hasn't incurred a lot of backlash.
So this is
and if it is, it's just been blocked.
Yeah, you just aren't seeing it.
Yeah. And I mean, that is interesting, because you don't know if you're blocked. If you're a troll and someone blocks you, you don't know. So that's a different way to go about it.
So you're just kind of screaming into the canyon,
I guess.
So can you explain just how it would work? So let's say someone, because it used to be for private messages, that's pretty cut and dry. But in commenting, so if someone sort of includes you in the comment or writes back to something that you're saying, is that when you're able to block them now?
So basically, as long as you have your block list up, if you click the block user button while viewing a reply in your inbox, which you get an inbox alert for basically anything that you do on Reddit, from that point on, you don't see the blocked user's profile photo, you don't see their comments, you don't see their posts, you don't see any of their messages. It'll just be gone. It'll like disappear, like they never even existed. But that person won't know that you've blocked them. So they won't get an alert if they try to respond to you and they say, oh, so-and-so's blocked you. So it's kind of a combination between a mute and a block,
right?
In a lot of ways. So like they can't directly contact you the way that somebody could if you muted them, but they won't know that they're blocked. So it's a twofold tool that I think kind of really gets at the heart of the fact that Reddit is trying to make sure that people feel like they can safely avoid certain speech that might bother them, or harassment, in particular, heavy-duty trolling, raids, that kind of stuff, without incurring retaliation.
Well, I think it's a good move. Excellent. And yeah, Reddit, I'm happy that Reddit is kind of stepping in there and giving more tools, because it's certainly one of those networks that is rife with that kind of negativity, and depending on the subreddit that you're in. So it's a good place for that.